Every forward-looking organization or establishment periodically rejigs its strategies in order to improve on its mandate. Its obligations and operational guidelines are often spelled out in documents, and this makes it easy for stakeholders to engage. Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, in the quest to contribute its quota to the nation's economy, has unveiled its Service Charter Customer Care Policy Handbook, the first of its kind in the maritime sector, and we dare say any government agency in Nigeria. We'll tell you all about this handbook and its importance to the maritime industry. The program is The Shipper, brought to you by Nigeria's Port Economic Regulator, Nigerian Shippers Council. My name is Rekia Zikru Yagoyaju.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem where shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. And papa email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
For you, we dey gidigba.
Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nane.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. A new customer care policy handbook that will make it easy for stakeholders to assess the services of Nigerian Shippers Council has been presented in Lagos. It provides information about the Shippers Council and also serves as a guideline to effective and efficient service delivery.
The event signifies a very positive one in the sense that it will now enhance our activities in respect of our services to the stakeholder, the service providers, right? And some areas that we've not been doing well with this launch, so it will now prompt us to really do the necessary things that we're supposed to do in order to address some challenges in the industry.
Lagos Shipper Association, which I belong to, whenever we have a dispute, we have a problem, Shippers Council is always there for everybody to listen. They have been a good mother, good father. I pray for the long life of this Shippers Council, and they should continue. The launching of this program today is just a plus. They have been doing this even before the launching. I really appreciate them.
Additional Abiodun, who covered the public presentation of the Service Charter Customer Care Policy Handbook, compiled this report presented by Lucy Ulugbe.
Launch this charter in the name of God the Father, in the name of God the Son, in the name of God the Holy Spirit. Almighty God helping us, who will fulfill the promises contained in this service charter.
That was the official launch of the Service Charter Customer Care Policy Handbook of the Nigerian Shippers Council. It's an 86-page book with detailed information on the obligations, functions, and services of the Council. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Honorable Emmanuel Jime, who was represented by Director, Regulatory Services Department, Ifeoma Ezedima, commended the efforts of the agency's Servicom unit. She said the publication is part of a conscious plan by Shippers Council to empower stakeholders with basic information on the services of the council. This, she emphasized, will change stakeholders' perception of the Nigerian Shippers Council and enhance its operations.
When people are aware of what they expected from you, they measure you by that. And then if we are to be honest with ourselves, the more you expose or you tell people what you do, you're more transparent. There's predictability, and with that, your performance is measured. What is measured is what gets done, right? So, why we did this is so that both Shippers Council and Shippers Council stakeholders are aware of the services we rendered, and also let us know that, okay, when we're going wrong, they tell us when we're going wrong. And I'm hoping they're going to do that, so that it only makes us get better.
A representative of the Federal Ministry of Transportation, Olufunke Osho, charged Shippers Council to keep to the promises it made in the charter for better service delivery.
Want to congratulate the Shippers Council for the launching of their service charter, and I also want to employ them to keep to the promises being made in their service charter for better service delivery to the citizens of Nigeria. The service charter is being the promise made by the organization or the agency, and also what is being to address is quality of service delivery.
National Coordinator of Servicom of Shippers Council, Dr. Nnenna Akajemeli, praised the efforts of members of a team who worked assiduously to come up with the publication, which she described as veritable tool to achieving excellent service.
CEO want to congratulate management, want to congratulate all members of staff, and indeed the stakeholders. Please let us know, and if you are not happy with what they are doing, please follow us at Servicom and let us know how well. But I'm sure with the feedback we got from you, they will do better in serving you. Congratulations.
Director, Human Resources Management of Nigerian Shippers Council described the launching of the service charter as a step in the right direction.
It is obvious that Nigerian Shippers Council has been able to impact positively with service delivery to its stakeholders. For it to have its charter, that it is a purpose-driven move for Nigerian Shippers Council, because you have to keep to your charter. Your charter tells the whole world what you are out to do. Then when it comes to customer care handbook, it gives us a point-to-point approach to what the service delivery in Shippers Council is all about. So it is more like pinning itself to the letter. What you have put in the handbook that is what you're going to do is exactly what you're going to deliver.
For the nodal officer, Servicom, Bosse Thompson, the charter is a measuring tool that will help the agency know its performance index and enthrone optimal service on the part of the organization.
The charter and policy handbook we're launching today is a work that was started by the nodal officer, the former assistant nodal officer. Two of them, actually. From now, will be better for it, because now our service charter will be in the hands of everyone, our stakeholders inclusive, officers of the Nigerian Shippers Council. And that actually puts a demand on us to put our best foot forward in service. And that's what Servicom is saying. We're driving service delivery, ensuring that things are done, the right processes, procedures are followed.
The Director, Inland Transport of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Philip Edua, spoke on the periodic evaluation of the charter to ascertain its effective implementation.
Servicom units have the duty to ensure that all those things that have been stated in the charter are well practiced. That's just it. Because we have a charter that is not functioning, that means not a proper charter. And I want to advise for that too, that at the Servicom committee meeting, they must make sure that they evaluate the charter, how far it has worked, what are they supposed to put? What is there anything they are supposed to put? Is there anything they are not supposed to put? Just analyzing the whole charter to see if it's really working or if it's effective or not.
The Nigerian Shippers Council says measures are in place to ensure strict implementation with the Service Charter Customer Care Policy Handbook in the interest of stakeholders.
The program you're watching is The Shipper, and it comes to you courtesy of the Nigerian Shippers Council. Did you know that government's efforts at addressing the many challenges affecting port operations are yielding positive outcomes? Members of the Project Steering Committee, who embarked on an assessment of port operations to Apapa Port terminals in Lagos, say it is no longer business as usual. Additional Abiodun covered the committee's inspection of the facilities in Lagos and brought back this report presented by Lucy Ulugbe.
In order to effectively treat this subject, it's important to provide a bit of background. When the process manual on port operations was launched by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in 2020, it was primarily to sanitize the nation's seaports. The whole idea was to boost efficiency and accountability in port operations and ensure predictability. The manual contains the step-by-step trajectory of processes at the ports. To ensure effective monitoring and compliance with the Nigerian Port Process Manual, a project steering committee was set up by the federal government. Members of the committee have been working assiduously in line with the statutory responsibility guiding their operations, visiting and monitoring processes at the various ports. The latest of such visits was at AP Mola Terminal, Tinkan Island Container Terminal, and the Port and Cargo Handling Services Limited in Apapa, Lagos. At the AP Mola Terminal, team leader Eniola Williams expressed satisfaction at the orderly conduct of staff of the service provider.
From today's assessment, the engagements with the customs, engagements with immigrations, and the actual visit to the terminals, we have heard of progress, and the progress is actually imminent. So by our assessments, we want to say that the Port Steering Committee and the Port Standing Tax Team, they are on the road to success and turning around things within the terminals.
The committee visited the Comptroller of Immigration, Lagos Seaport and Marine Command, Apapa, Suleiman Garu, who told the team leader that the service is working harmoniously with Nigerian Shippers Council and other stakeholders of the Port Standing Task Team.
We check irregular migration here, and our utmost priority is the security of this nation. We work hand in hand to ensure that our officers follow due process. They are up to the task of obeying the standard operational procedure. We work with Port Standing Task Team at all times, and we try to sensitize our officers on how to work, and any person that we found wanting, we sanction him. We don't tolerate corruption, and we don't allow officers to abide to it. So we are always sensitizing our officers. They should cooperate and work hand in hand with the Port Standing Tax Team and all the agencies that are working here. And we are always ready to cooperate with all the organizations, because we are all working for one entity, that's Nigeria.
The committee was received at the Tinkan Island Port by Customs Controller in charge of Terminal B3, Atiku Modi, and Deputy Controller in charge of Terminal B2. Members of the Project Steering Committee were conducted round the Customs Examination Base. The customs attributed the cargo delays at the examination base to the absence of scanners. In an interview with the shipper, Customs Controller Apapa Command said the Customs Service has worked amicably with Nigerian Shippers Council and the Port Standing Task Team since the introduction of the Nigerian Port Process Manual.
If I could remember, it was formed and around the 3rd of March 2021. And we have been collaborating, synergizing, and understanding ourselves on the Port Process Manual. Basically, we started with the use of the vessels, joint examinations, or joint boarding, we call it, where everybody has to be on board at one time, which is called the one-stop shop. It performed wonderfully well, and their collaboration is superb. We have been exchanging ideas. We have been meeting from time to time. The mother team are coming from Abuja. We sat down with them. We see our differences, we see the challenges, and we mend our areas of concern. And we're always doing that. You can't do it alone in the port. You must need the service of other people. Even the port manual, they need the service of custom, the DSS, the NAVDAC, the NDLE, and all other stakeholders in the port.
A member of the team deployed to Tinkan Island Port, Ahmed Dabarako, noted that there are logistics challenges.
Most of the excesses that have been going on have been stopped completely since when we came in.
Logistic-wise?
Yes, in terms of logistics, we need more hands, assistance in terms of logistics, in terms of precisely on transportation.
Transportation?
Yes, okay. Because we need to have vehicle at each beach in case of any emergency.
The team leader, Eniola Williams, gave her impression of the different processes at the terminals inspected.
I want to encourage you to continue. This is a national assignment, and it should be good for posterity to note our contributions. So please keep up the good work.
Coordinator General of the task team, Moses Fadipe, observed that there's been tremendous improvement in port operations and strong synergy among agencies at the ports since the team began monitoring port processes.
Project Steering Committee, I would say kudos to them, because not only leaving us in the field, not only hearing the successes, they still find way and time out of their busy schedule to go to the field with us, to see all the challenges, which I believe in no distant future, some of those things we look at as challenges on our part will be a thing of the past. You could see the testimony from the Controller of Customs Apapa on the strong collaboration between their agency and the tax team with other agencies, and the willingness to collaborate more for all those successes to be sustained. And all this can be attested to with our visit to the APMT examination bay. You can see what we call orderliness. You can see what we call strong collaboration. And you can see that everybody is falling in line. And that's what we are praying for. And that's what is of doing business. If you have been to TICT prior to 1st of March 2022, what you see today is a clear departure from what obtained in the past. And you can see the customs officials themselves attesting to it. That look, this is very great improvement. Everybody is complying. And what do we need? Compliance, compliance, compliance.
The project steering committee was with the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Honorable Emmanuel Jime, before embarking on the inspection of the terminals. Jime commended the Coordinator General of Port Standing Task Team, Moses Fadipe, and his team for the tremendous progress recorded with the implementation of the Nigerian Ports Process Manual. He attributed the success of the team to the concerted efforts of members of the task team. This, he added, has created a conducive business environment at the ports.
I'd like to start first by saying thank you on behalf of the management team of the Shippers Council, and indeed the entire staff of this council. And I think by extension I should now be able to speak also for our country and to say how well we really appreciate and acknowledge and recognize the work of this steering committee.
Hands remain on deck. Nigeria, with its humongous population, deserves to be the maritime hub of West Africa, and that is what it will become. We'll keep watching out for developments and update you. Let's now join Abike Idowu for tidbits of news making the rounds in the maritime world.
The newly transferred director of the South-South Zone of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Mr. Glory Onojedu, led members of that zonal office on a visit to Port Manager and Customs Controller on Airport. The delegation also attended the On Airport Berthing Committee meeting. The visits were to apprise all parties of the activities of the council while introducing the new head of the zone, who takes over following the retirement of the former director, Ogo Iza. We continue to urge stakeholders in the maritime industry to visit the council's website www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng for more information on our services, as well as report any complaints using the PSSP portal www.pssp.ng. Let's now check on our complaints register for the week. 10 complaints were received, and they are all ongoing investigations. The complaints include demurrage waiver, wrongful charges, unethical practices, storage charges, and delayed refund. And now, global maritime news. Singapore is set to become the 23rd signatory to the Clydebank Declaration that was launched at the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Glasgow in November last year to develop green shipping corridors. The Clydebank Declaration aims to establish set zero-emission maritime routes between 2 or more ports. At the launch, the signatories said the plan was to establish 6 such corridors by the middle of the decade. Gemalin Port in Cai Mep, Vietnam, has held a ceremony to mark handling of 1 million TEU in its first year of operation. Despite the challenges from the pandemic, broken supply chain, blank sailings, and frequent delays, Gemalin Port, that began operations in January 2021, has maintained the smooth flow of cargo, relieving congestion at Cai Mec Tai Vai seaport area and bringing Vietnamese goods directly to the Americas, Europe, and the whole intra-Asia region. Now wait, there's more. MSC Group has reached agreements to acquire Bolloré Africa Logistics for a whopping $6.3 billion. Following over 3 months of exclusive discussion, MSC said it has agreed with Bolloré to buy 100% of Bolloré Africa Logistics. The acquisition sees MSC joining its competitors, MEX and CMA CGM, making major investments in the logistics and landside sector as container lines that have profited hugely from supply chain disruptions reinvest their earnings. The deal will include all of Bolloré Group's shipping, logistics, and terminal operations in Africa, as well as its terminal operations in India, Haiti, and Timor-Leste. And that's it on this week's Tidbits. Till next time.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency, and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
That's it on The Shipper this week. It's been a pleasure putting this package together for you, and we do thank you for keeping the faith and joining us for this half hour. Let's take this voyage together again next week. A message for regulated service providers to please register with Nigerian Shippers Council. It is compulsory. See you next week. Again, thanks for watching. Goodbye.